Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's game between Florida Christian College and Bob Jones University. At this time, we'd ask you to please stand and kindly remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd ask you to please remain standing as we are led in prayer. Father, thank you so much for the common bond that we have in Jesus Christ. I thank you so much for these two schools and what they stand for. I pray that you keep these ladies safe as they participate in today's game, that all the actions on the field and off, that it would glorify you and that it would proclaim your name today. Give the officials wisdom as they ref this game and give the players skill. Help it to be a very enjoyable match. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, welcome everyone to an afternoon soccer match here in Greenville, South Carolina. And the Bob Jones University Bruin ladies take on the gals from Florida Christian College. It should be a good one. Weather's perfect. Had a little rain earlier on, but boy, the sun is out now. And Nate Warwick with me, Paul Wright my name. And Nate, pretty good game, I think, today. Lovely day for soccer.
Yeah, the Bruins are coming off of a big 5-0 win against Johnson. And quite honestly, I'd be surprised if they didn't come out with another big win here. Florida Christian College has really had a rough year. Still looking for their first win, only 2 goals scored this season. But, of course, a big challenge for the Bruins is going to be not to get overconfident and cocky, but to just play their game, do all the fundamentals right, and not take anything for granted today.
Well, it's always good advice to keep the ball on the floor, but after apparently a weather front moved in, it's a little bit breezy out here. I would expect both teams are going to try to keep the ball on the floor and really knock it around a bit. That's also good soccer. The referees look to be all set. Of course, the BJU Bruin ladies are in white, and our Florida Christian College visitors are in the bright orange. Hard to miss the orange gals out there. They look pretty good.
And Bruins will have the ball first, as we have noted, going from left to right. And as you can tell from when we pan up, when you see the flag, the wind's going pretty stiffly from right to left, so that'll give a little bit of an edge to the Suns. That's Florida Christian College's mascot here early on. See Sarah Porch getting ready to tap it off. And here we go, underway. So, Paul, what do you think is going to be one of the big keys for the Bruins today?
Well, not to put it too succinctly, but to win. And to win, they're going to have to play decent soccer. If they continue the effort they put out last game, I think they will be doing very, very well. I like the way they're already changing fields, knocking the ball around here. If they keep this up, it will be a good victory for them.
Working with the ball, just getting it past midfield and hoping to mount their first attack of the day. Just right now, a lot of pass around. That's a bad pass across the middle, taken away. But quick defense takes it right back. And good use of being willing to drop it here early on and just pass the ball back. But obviously looking to move the ball forward here soon. Martin with it now, dropping it back once again.
Right off the bat, I'm noticing that Florida Christian is very tentative about going to the ball. When the ball is being passed to someone, they're not attacking the ball with any enthusiasm at all. They're sort of almost playing at this point at practice speed. They really need to pick it up.
Yeah, they almost look a little bit afraid to challenge. Either that or they're just trying overly hard to contain, but Here we go. Reemsma taking it up. This could be their first attack, trying to send it up top to Luttrell, but didn't quite get it there. Or I'm sorry, that's Howard. Howard going for it now. Cuts it back. And another drop. Lehman, one of the 3 captains, as you can see it there in the picture, the black and white band on the right arm. Also Sarah Porch and Sarah Iwanowicz, the other 2 captains for the ladies.
Well, I don't think their coach is, the Florida Christian College coach is going to fuss at them too much for jumping in on defending. They are defending actually tactically pretty smart when they're not jumping in and waiting for the attacker to commit him, or in this case herself.
And right now they're just working with it on the far sideline, trying to find some kind of space to work with. Was Raven Rodriguez with it, drops it back. Good challenge there. Okay, Sarah with it now on the near sideline. She had a couple very pretty goals here early on. Nice pass ahead. This is Lauren Peak with it. Peak also had a nice goal. It's a good pass into the middle. Here's a good chance. Shot.
Goal.
And in. First goal of the day already for the Bruins. Perfect pass across the middle.
Nicely sent. The ball was put a little spin on it. Whether it was on purpose or not, it was perfect. It was spinning away from the goalkeeper into the upper left-hand corner of the goal mouth, and it was just a lovely goal.
I believe that was Spencer Martin put that one away. Yep, Spencer Martin. Off of the pass from Sarah Porch. That was just a perfect pass right into the middle, and as you said, solid shot.
Lots of English on the ball. Had a good spin. It was very difficult for the goalkeeper to handle when it's spinning away like that.
Just barely over 2 minutes into the game, Bruins with a 1-0 lead.
And they are keeping the ball on the floor. If you put it in the air, that wind will wreak havoc with it.
Nice switch field there.
Lovely ball.
Over to Lehman. She's got lots of space to work with. Trying to move it ahead to Martin. That's a little bit too far. And Florida Christian, as we mentioned, has really struggled on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll see if they're able to generate much pressure. But really, the Bruin ladies' defense has been getting better and better throughout the year. Here's Porch trying to do something with it. Drops it back for Lee.
I had to take a second look at Sarah Porch. She usually wears her hair a little up on top of her head. She's a little bit wearing it in a ponytail today.
Here we go, working back across to the other side. That's a Lehman with it, sending it up top. Just good ball movement right now. They're doing a good job of trapping it, keeping it close to them. It's a little bit too far, though. There's looking for a peak. Send nice trap there. Good move.
You like to see players pull the ball out of the air when it's above their waist with their foot occasionally, and that just shows good confidence and some mighty nice skill too.
Another good switch there as it went from Iwanowicz to Lee. Getting some pressure on her from behind. Good takeaway, but it's Reemsma sends it a little bit too far. Looking for Porch there on the near side.
Referees have an option of wearing several different shades of shirts. They've chosen blue for today. The regulation is that they are not to have, the referees that is, not to have a color that is going to conflict or confuse any of the teams or players on the pitch. They sure don't today. Everybody's white or orange, and the referees are blue.
Yeah, first time we've seen referees in blue since the other team almost always has blue. Coming down the outside with it now, that's Howard. Howard looking to send it into the inside. Good defense, nice cut in. Just a little bit past Johnston, but too far.
Great service, though. Pulled the ball back and sent it up. We just didn't have the players in a position.
Lee pressuring hard and will take it away right there. And it will be a throw-in. With the throw-in will be Heather Melman. Melman going inside to Bromere. Taken away by Lee. And going back up to Porch. Good takeaway by Rodriguez. Trying to put it up. Fox with it now.
Yeah, Porch is getting stuck in pretty good there. I like how she's playing.
Ooh, nice tap away by Reemsma. Here comes Lauren Peak. She has a breakaway. Pressured hard from behind. Moves it in for the shot, and it's 2-0. Lauren Peak takes it all the way in herself.
Nice goal. All started up by good defending and good aggressive play by Sarah Peak at the midfield. She won the ball, didn't give up, She had an opportunity to give up and back away, but she really got stuck in really well, played tough, won the ball, knocked it forward, and resulted in a goal. Nice play all around.
About 5.5 minutes into the game, and Bruins already with a 2-0 lead. So very encouraging for them so far. Here's Peak again. Has Porch up top, couldn't quite get it to her though. Here's Reemsma. She had a good play on that last goal as well. Florida Christian trying to get it out of their zone. Pressure hard from Howard right here. Good job sending it up the far side. Lehman with it now. Still trying to get it to Howard. And even early on, we're seeing the Bruins really control the ball well.
We sure are.
Oh, good send. Way to stay onside. Pete could have another one. Bounce it a little bit too far. Almost gets to it. Squirts it out, but it's going to go wide of the goal.
Nifty play. She actually stepped around the back, the defender, and actually was able to put the ball, get a shot. A little weak one, but at least nice move. Never give up.
Yeah, I got around Alyssa Agnew on that play. Here we go. Florida Christian getting ready to take the goal kick. Sends it down the far side. Lehman going to be pressuring here. Once again, you see there just a lot of traffic around it, so just drops it back to where there's nobody else. Plenty of time here for Iwanowicz.
Nice ball.
Lee with it. He's got Porch wide open, finds her. Here comes Porch. She's got the edge, but some pressure hard from behind. That's Fox. Still working on Fox here. Gets around her. Cutting it back inside. Now dropping back to Lee. Lee cutting back to the inside. Pressured hard off of the ball right now. Another drop back to Reemsma. Reemsma clears it over to Lehman. Lehman moving it even further outside. Nice move. A little stop and go there. And it's going to be chipped out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Lehman. Now working to Howard. She's been very busy on that far side. Cut back into the middle. Here's Reemsma, sends it across. Porch has a little bit of time working on Fox again. Ooh, nice takeaway. Fox has had her hands full with Porch today, but really is not doing too bad.
Well, Sarah's helping out a bit. She still has this, I think she's working on it, but she still wants to pull the ball back rather than penetrate with it and give her teammates an opportunity to move forward as well.
Reemsma chasing it. We'll drop it back for, looks like Lee is going to get it. Iwanowicz will pull off. Now it's going back to Iwanowicz. And it's going to actually go all the way back to Anderson. Anderson almost always wears that red jersey, but today, of course, has the blue penny over it, so as not to be confused with a Suns player. Oh, here's a chance for Peak again. It's Peak with Porch. Puts it through, and that's Peak's second goal of the day. It's 3-0. And a 2-on-none there, really, as goalie really not a lot could have done about that one. Megan Fraser for the Suns really having a tough time early, is just not a lot you can do about that.
Well, if Florida Christian College wants to be in this game, they are simply going to have to pick up their intensity level. They're giving the, we'll take it, of course, because we are not nonpartisan here on these webcasts, but we certainly would like to see, Florida fans would certainly like to see their girls really pick up the intensity and go hard to the ball. They're giving our folks way too much space, and we're sure dominating and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's something that the Bruins have showed is if you give them a little bit of room to work with, they can definitely capitalize. Here we go. Here's Howard on the outside. Peak running through again. That's a nice send into the middle. Working for, let's see, that is actually first time I've called her name, but Hoskinson's in. Working with it in the middle. Iwanowicz steps up and takes it. Good play to Martin there. Hoskinson with it, has Porch wide open on the inside. There it is. Coming over hard to defend it and cuts into the middle again. That's like her favorite move. Here's Danny Lee sending it across the middle. Moving inside, this is Johnston. Johnston, good send to Isles. Isles gets bumped, or I'm sorry, to Hoskinson, gets bumped off, and Fraser able to come out and grab it.
The keeper came off the line real well that time, Florida Christian College. And Unfortunately, I think she's going to give the ball away here and kicking it out of bounds. But in these windy days, it sometimes is very difficult to control the direction that you're going to be punting the ball. That's why so many goalkeepers throw the ball.
Anderson particularly has a fondness for throwing it. Does it, I'd say, probably about 2/3 of the time at least.
And it's very accurate. That's why if you have a good arm, use it.
Isles sending it up right here. Passed over to Lee. Porch staying very close to that touchline on the inside. Hoskinson trying to turn and go, and got it. Good move there. Working up the middle. Here's Peak. Oh, she's offside. He's going for the hat trick, but she is going to be offside.
Wonder where that term came from, hat trick. When you score 3 goals, it's a hat trick. I'm not sure. Do you know?
I think it goes back to hockey from what I understand. I know it's a tradition to whenever someone would score 3 goals, everybody would throw hats on the ice. That's the first I know of it, but I've not researched it out. But hockey, I think, was the first one to use that.
I think
that
it was,
term.
yeah. Well, I'm glad they throw hats on the ice rather than players on the ice. In fact, I heard that when the Bruins used to play and it was real tough, somebody said, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yep, that's one of the best jokes about hockey. Here we go, takeaway in the middle of the field. Bromier working with it. Trying to turn and go on Hoskinson. Passed over Martin. Hard pressure on that, able to take it away. Drop back to Lehman. Good space for Howard here. Pass back over to Johnston. Another drop. Switch Lee will be able to track that down fine. And they've also done a good job changing fields today. They've not been reluctant to keep switching it back and forth and keep Florida Christian on their toes. Pass to Johnson, 1-touch pass, nice give and go there. Johnson up to Porch, that's going to be taken away though, I think. Yep.
We would have made a diagonal run where our players are still running in their lanes vertically up the field rather than doing this diagonal. Every step you take in a diagonal run, you're creating a new passing lane. And our gals aren't doing that quite yet.
That's a fine header. Rodriguez drops it back to Bromier. Now getting ready for the throw in is Glunt. Throwing it in, has Rodriguez open. Back to Glunt. They can turn and go. That's just barely glanced it off the head there of Attar, but taken away by the Bruins. Still no shots yet for Florida Christian. About 32 minutes to go here in the first half. Bruins with a 3-0 lead. As Spencer Martin scored the first goal just a couple minutes in, and Lauren Peak has had a pair since. Howard working on the outside right now. They can go there. Here we go, working into the middle. Gives it over to Johnston. Pass, trying to get it to Porch down here on the near side. Couldn't quite do it. Lots of space. This is a chance for Florida Christian. Tried to send it through, but Iwanowicz, good step up there. Got in the way of the pass. Rodriguez controlling it now. That's a good send. Iwanowicz coming out, but it's going to be Anderson coming all the way out. For the first time today, she'll scoop it up.
It's been fun to watch Sarah Iwanowicz advance in her skills and her tactical knowledge as the season has progressed. She really is becoming a complete player. She's one of the best athletes on the pitch. Her trapping ability, her overall soccer skills are just pretty impressive.
Which is probably why Coach Carmichael has consistently kept her at sweeper. I think every single game that, at least that we have webcast, that's another offside for Peak.
Yeah, she was 2 yards offside. When I used to referee for about 30 years in the Atlantic Coast Conference or the Big 12 out west or the Southern Conference and on tournaments all over the country, I would notice that the best athlete, the fastest player was always at the sweeper position. You really have to have good players at the back if you're going to win championships. You can win games by scoring goals. You win championships by having a good defense.
Abercrombie had a fine send there, but it's taken away immediately. Isles with a little step around. Good switch over to Porch.
There's a good diagonal run coming up here.
Porch gives it over to Johnston, back to Isles.
Yeah, Isabel Johnston did a nice diagonal run. It was creating a passing lane. Well done.
That's something that can always do a little bit more of. They're going to give is that a direct free kick, I think?
Yep.
Looks like Lehman will take it. A little pass into Johnston here as Bruins look to mount another attack, already with a 3-0 lead, about 15 minutes in. Here's Isles. Isles has some space. Good send to Peak. Peak, a nice little move. Chips it over to Martin. Gets it past. And that'll be an easy put in as Spencer Martin notches her second goal of the game.
That was nifty play, too. Yeah, the goalkeeper's she had an opportunity. The ball bounced away from her. She didn't really secure it. And if that happens, you've got running players that are running on the ball, then you're going to get scored on. And that's what happened. 4-0, the Bruins up.
I'm sorry, that was Luttrell that scored that, not Martin. So good job by Rebecca Luttrell. Good footwork there, able to contain it and not power it away, as it's so easy to do, especially when you're right up on the goalie like that. It can be a temptation to just try to power it through, but good finesse.
Nice trap.
It's a good takeaway by Isles. Bad pass in the middle, though. Bromere with it. Tapped away into the middle. Rodriguez will chase that down. Send up the far side. Good defense. I think Niarchus is in over there on that side.
That's what I mean by attacking the ball. Niarchus went hard to the ball, didn't give up. Now, we lost it. We gave the throw in away, but she certainly ran hard for every ball, and that was mighty, mighty fine play.
That's a Musselman there on the play on that one. With it on the outside. And it's going to be, did it go out of bounds? Either that or it's a foul, I'm not sure which. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Suns. Nice give and go there on the outside. Suns trying to work it out inside, but good step up defense. Trying to work this one into the middle. But Bruins already up 4-0, and of course here at BJU we're thrilled about that. Looking to see if they'll add any more here for the half. Good chance of it, as there's still almost 29 minutes to go.
Nice play by Sarah again. She's just a classic sweeper. Tall, rangy, quick, good sense.
Niarchus dropping it back.
Nice touch, and just very nice touches. You never feel that she's in a panic, and you like your sweeper to never be in a panic.
It's a pretty crucial spot. You're usually one of, if not the last person in defense before the goalie. So if you mess up, there's a good chance there's going to be a point going up on the board for the other team. Throwing coming for the Bruins, going into Niarchus. One of the shortest players on the pitch, but definitely makes up for it in speed.
I like her energy. She just kind of ignites the team when she comes in. She doesn't usually start, but she plays a lot of minutes and really is a real spark plug for this team.
Isles has all kinds of room to work with, sending it for Porch. Tracking it down, though, on the other side is Abercrombie. She's going to send it back in to nice. That was a beautiful trap by Johnston. That one had some good pace on it. She really put that one on the ground fast. Goes a little bit past Iwanowicz, but she'll track that one down easily. Has Lee on the touch line here. Also has Isles in the middle. Let's see if she's going to get, yeah.
Nice one-touch passing there.
Taken away, and coming back the other way is Bromere. Pressured hard by Lee.
That's
good
right. That's what I mean by going to the ball. Nice stuff.
Good save by Porch there. I had to really reverse directions quickly. Isles gives it over to Johnson, or I'm sorry, Hoskinson. Going the other way. And right now, Florida Christian just struggling to get much of a rhythm, as the Bruins defense has just been absolutely suffocating.
Well, they just need to pick up their intensity. Even if they mishandle the ball, going hard to the ball will slow down the attack of the Bruins. But right now, they're just letting, with rare exceptions, letting the Bruins have their way. And again, we're right proud to see that. The girls are doing well, but they're putting on a clinic about how to knock the ball around.
Musselman with a good pass to the outside, looking for a send in. Going to be dropped back to Musselman. He's been looking for some room to go with it. Another drop. They want to get this one into the middle some way that they can. It's dropped all the way back into the defensive zone, taken away. Now good pressure, hard, taken away, and kept in bounds.
Good stuff.
Good defense. Now coming back the other way with it. Hiles will take it just outside the center circle. Musselman, good look to Danny Lee in open space.
Diagonal runs, ladies. Diagonal runs.
Lee sends it out to Porch. That's going to be stepped in front of by Abercrombie.
That's why a diagonal run. So you keep the angle down.
Lee plays defense, but she's all the way up. Actually, the most forward Bruin right now. Porch with a nice control there. She's got Lee. Lee is offside. Well, nope, she isn't. But
defender stepped back at the last moment and put her onside.
And then, actually, a very nice play there by Leslie Fox, hitting it off of Danny Lee and giving herself a throw in. Smart play.
You like to see a defender move forward and have the freedom and skill to make those runs from a deep position, as it's called in this game.
Even now off the throw, she's still pretty far forward. Taken away by Bromere.
She's in the attack. If I were a coach, I'd be the coach of this team. I'd be very pleased because she drops back pretty well, and you take what the other team will give you.
This is Martin with it now. A little bit of a missed pass, but Nyarka's right there to pick it up. He's taking this one right in on the attack, but tried to dribble through. Florida Christian actually had some numbers there. Now they do again. It's going to go too far, though, and Iwanowicz there. Sense that they could just get a little more burst to it. They would have had a good opportunity right there.
Yeah, but they had to get past Sarah, and she's a player.
It's a nice hit there from Fox all the way down. Just took a little bit too high of a bounce, though, for Hoffman to get a handle on it. Switched across. Dangerous pass there, taken away. Also, I'm pleased to see that although the Bruins have been playing physically, it's definitely not been dirty or overly rough at all. I mean, they're definitely getting on the ball and attacking, but they aren't, bulldozing people or not as much of the pushing on with the hands as we've seen in some of the other games.
Yeah, there's physical play and then there's physical play, and I mean it is not a non-contact sport. You are certainly entitled to, and you should be, knocking people off the ball, shoulder-to-shoulder contact. That's good stuff there by Florida Christian.
That was a nice takeaway there by Bromere. Fortunately, wasn't able to keep a hold of it. Oh, nice move there by Spencer Martin. Good little fake out. Now she's got a little bit of space, sending it up. That goes through. Good chance for Musselman. Ooh, trip up in the box and sliding down and grabbing it. No, Megan wasn't able to grab it. Goes back to Musselman. Shot deflects off of Megan and it'll roll out for a corner.
I think the referee gave a play on. The ball clearly went to an attacker, one of our team members, but usually it's considered the advantage is always to give a penalty. But we got a play on there, and that was fine. You don't mind so much when you're up 4-0 as you do when it's tied or you're behind.
Here's the corner. Trying to get ahead on it. That'll move through, and a nice goal there. Sarah Porch took it off the bounce and makes it 5-0 Bruins. Once again, you see that when she actually takes the shot, she is pretty lethal.
Yeah, and it was she took it on the short hop too, with her right foot. Well done.
Put it in the far side of the net, about knee height or so. Very well done.
Sometimes these kinds of games are really what you like to see. They're just confidence builders for the team. It lets gals or guys try something different. When you're up 5-0, you can do things that you ordinarily can't do. Try it. See if it works.
Here's Nyarkis with it. Moving back across, lost it. Rodriguez with it now for the Suns. Just under 22 minutes to go till halftime. Bruins with a commanding 5-0 lead and have really had their way with the Suns so far. You can hear coming through I can hear coming through the headsets the wind is definitely blowing pretty hard, which on a day like today actually probably feels pretty good to the players. It's definitely not the 50-degree weather we saw a game or two ago.
And with the rain we've had early on today and overnight, it still is a little humid here. We are still in South Carolina.
Several substitutions coming out, including Sarah Porch. And it looks like Iwanowicz is coming out as well. So the other two captains coming off. But good game for everybody so far. Lacey Harris, one of the new subs.
That was a good decision by the coach, I think, to get some other players in. And this is a time when you, as I said, the starters can try something new, but now get your subs in and let them build confidence as well.
Yeah, this is a good chance. That's Stolvert coming up and knocking that one off of Fox. She'll be taking the throw in. Has Harris forward. That's who it'll go to. Harris with the control. Good pass over to Stolvert. And tried to send it down the touchline, but too far.
You got to know where your feet are in relationship to where the touchline is. And sometimes that's difficult to do when you're being pressured by a defender.
Fox was trying to send it to Bromere, couldn't quite get it there. Good job keeping it in by by Harris. Harris is going to chase this one down near the corner, and question is, did it go off Fox or not? And it did.
Looks like a corner kick, rather.
Now Johnston is normally the one to take them, but I don't think she's on the pitch right now, so it will be, looks like Annie Euban.
Yeah, Lacey Harris showed some good tactics and good patience under pressure down here in the touchline. She was able, when she had, I think, 3 defenders on her, to get the ball out.
Euban, a low, hard drive, and Musselman takes it off the shins and puts it on goal, but good job by Megan Fraser to be there. She will boot it away.
Well, we're certainly glad our viewers have joined us today. It is a Monday afternoon, not a typical time for soccer. At least it hasn't been a typical time for our webcast. But the soccer fans are certainly going to be here, and we are glad you have joined us today.
And a good day to be a Bruins fan as well. As 19 minutes to go in the first half, and Lady Bruins already have a commanding 5-0 lead.
Musselman just fell over backwards with no one around her. I'm glad I thought at first she may have been injured, but I think she just kind of got tied up in her own shoelaces.
Now, one of those things that's not painful, just a little bit embarrassing. Euban, some good pressure right now.
A lot of hand fighting going on there. That's just good charging there. Both players are fighting hard for the ball, and that was a good. There was no foul there, so I can't say it was a good no call.
Good send up the line to Harris. Harris trying to cut it inside. Taken away, and Abercrombie working with it. Trying to turn and go. Taken away by Harris. And
a foul.
So they will get, guess they decided Abercrombie was being a little bit too physical. And so Harris will go ahead and take the cross. Good send in. That's kicked high in the air. Chance for a header maybe. Squirts back out, and Iarkis with it. Good pass across the space. Harris has plenty of room to work with it. Might even take a shot here. Nope, back inside. Drop back one more time. Euban tracking it down.
Penetrate, girls, penetrate. Go to the goal line. That way, especially when we have numbers up like we have them now, we have one player that is on our half of the field.
Hoskinson tried to get it to Musselman, but it went a little bit too far. That's a boom down the field looking for Hoffman, but it'll actually be Anderson coming all the way out. Obviously, she's outside the box, so can't pick it up, but does have a fine pass on the ground there to Niarchus. Bruins just doing such a great job, even with playing pretty much all reserves right now. A couple starters still in, like Isles in the middle, but mostly reserves, and they're doing a fine job. Here's Musselman going with it, trying to drop it back. Trying to find some kind of space there. Good takeaway. And that'll be a throw in for the Suns. So if you're the Suns coach, what are you telling your players right now?
Get stuck in. Play hard. Go hard to the ball. And they're playing at practice speed. They just simply need to go hard to the ball. They're walking around here almost, or at least just kind of easy trotting. They've got to attack the ball. Like this player, she's backing off now. She should be coming hard. There's just no real fire in the belly to go after the ball.
Harris was trying to get to Wilson there, couldn't quite do it. Oh, just a misplay there, lost her balance. Here's Musselman with it. Sent up the far side. Foot race to it, and good defense that time. So that's, I believe that's Millman out there on the Walter out there on the outside. And now Isles coming out. And who's that coming in?
That is Rebecca Luttrell coming on, number 9.
Already has 1 goal today. A little bit of a run pass there, as that was actually a pretty good throw in. Not a bad run either, just went over top of it.
I recall earlier on in the season how the throw-ins were not being used at all as an offensive weapon, but even the gals are really putting it together on their throw-ins and throwing the ball behind the defenders and to space, and our players are running on them. So even that is, this is simply a different women's team that we had at the beginning, and you certainly would hope it would be, and it is.
Yeah, they got off to a rough start, but since then they've gone 3-3 in their last 6, and from the looks of this, we'll move to 4-7 on the year, and definitely not bad for their first year ever, first year getting into intercollegiate athletics, and unlike the guys who had the advantage of playing full field, throughout their collegiate career so far, the ladies would usually just play half field 7-on-7, so kind of a whole different experience and shorter games as well, and really helps explain why in a lot of games they've struggled to play a complete game going hard all the way through.
Offside?
Yeah, I was going to say Musselman was off by at least 3 or 4 yards there.
Yeah, Abby Mitchell came on as a sub, so she's now playing. Number 15 in for the Lady Bruins.
Right now they're just doing a very good job of just possessing the ball and really controlling the game in pretty much every way.
Hey, it's 5-0, 14 minutes coming up on 14 minutes remaining in the first half.
Abercrombie tried to send it deep, but inadvertently drilled it off of teammate Leslie Fox. That's a good save by Euban. Keeping things alive, but oh no, couldn't quite save it. And we've got more substitutions coming in for the Bruins. Looks like Euban will be coming off. Here they are just changing positions. Nope, she's staying on.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the subs at the halfway line, and if they aren't there when you're ready to sub, the referee is not supposed to let them on. And I didn't see anybody at the halfway line, so I don't think there was a sub. We're just changing positions.
Good try there to send it to Musselman. Charging down, but couldn't quite get it. Chance for Florida Christian here, as they've been on the attack a few times, but haven't been able to put an official shot on goal, I don't believe, so far this game. It's not going to get any easier for them in the second half, as they'll have to be going against the wind as well. Right now they have the advantage of that, but obviously we'll switch directions at halftime.
It's a position that people that like to counter a lot like set up on the field right now. We have everybody forward except 3 people. There's a big gap between the penalty area we're defending and the defenders for Florida Christian. A quick counter can really hurt you.
Chance for Florida Christian here as they penetrate into the box, and now they've got time on the outside trying to cross it in, headed up in the air. Still bouncing around. Here's a chance. A good chance for Bromere. And no calls. It'll keep going. Send into the middle. Abercrombie going to collide there with, I think that was Luttrell.
Yeah, there was another play on by the referee, and I frankly thought that our player took the legs of that gal.
I'm sorry, Bonnie Cole. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just commenting on my opinion of what I thought happened. Of course, I'm a lot further away and above the play than the referee sometimes has more. That's a handball.
Yep, sure enough. Not intentional, of course, but that one definitely bounced right off of Stolvert's
outstretched arm.
Yep.
If the arm is in an unnatural position, the referee should call it. But again, as we said before, you don't penalize for having arms in this game.
Abercrombie is the team captain. She's taking most of the goal kicks, and she'll get ready. Has a shot on goal here, but it's too high.
Plenty of power. She put lots of English on it, but just a little bit too high. But I do think that Tori Anderson would have corralled that one, or at least punched it over the goal.
Anderson's had really a pretty good season, all things considered. But I would not be surprised in the least if come second half we see Shelley Hawk in goal to get a little bit more experience and practice. Sent ahead to Cole here. Ooh, Cole, tough collision there. And Abercrombie's not going to give very much. She's a tall player. I think probably the tallest one out there for Florida Christian, and also fits the sweeper mold pretty well.
Cole was taking the European model, laying on the ground and rolling around a bit, but when the ball came to her, she jumped up and was ready to take it.
Luttrell working on the outside right now. Bruins just playing very, very well. 10.5 to go here in the first half. Bruins lead the Suns 5-0. Get a throw in here. What to you, Paul, has been the most impressive part about the Bruins here in the early going?
Well, I like the way they've knocked the ball around. There have been many one-touch passes. I still would like to see our wingers on both sides penetrate. That wingers can go deep. If you get all the way to that goal line, you're making it a lot easier on your teammate and making it a lot harder on the defenders. But they have really been knocking the ball around. A lot of one-touch passing, and I think the accuracy of their passes have really improved. The fundamentals. If you ain't got the fundamentals, you ain't got it.
Fox getting ready for the throw in. Goes right over the head there. You've been working with it, and it will be a throw in for her. Good runs across the middle, looking for Musselman there. Controls it. Sent across the middle. That's a good chance. Cole drops it back one more time. Trying to work it to the inside. Good pass to Musselman. Musselman couldn't get a shot off. Luttrell also there in the middle. Stolvert corrals it. Now finally tap back away. Good chance here for Florida Christian. They've got some numbers, and good fight through there by Bromere. Bromere working with it. Double covered now. Sending it up ahead and trying to get it to Hoffman, but that will roll out of bounds and will be a goal kick.
Yeah, before we get too far away from my slaughtering the King's English, let me say that I understand that when I say ain't, that was for emphasis, not for saying that's the way we talk. We certainly don't.
Giving it over to Harris now. They couldn't quite save that one. Florida Christian has had a couple nice opportunities, but just has not been able to finish. No real solid shots, though. Here's Glunt throwing it forward, and a little bit of miscommunication there, as I think she thought that Bromere was going to be running on it. That will be another goal kick.
Yeah, I've seen about the last sequence that Florida Christian had. I think it was Bromere that gave up a little bit on the ball too soon, I thought, when she could have gone very, very hard on the ball and perhaps won it deep in the goal near the goal line, but she gave up pretty soon.
Still just a little bit tentative. Rodriguez getting bumped off the ball. Here's Musselman sending it up top. Good chance. They've got a 3-on-3. Sent back to Musselman again. Has Harris on the near side here.
This is
fights
dangerous.
through it. Here's Musselman trying to make it 6, and does. Victoria Musselman, 6-0 Bruins. She's been knocking on the door for some time and finally puts one in.
Kind of a local gal from a town very close to Greenville called Duncan, South Carolina, an international studies student here at Bob Jones University. Victoria Musselman. She looked like she was international in that play, the way she moved through the defense.
That was just a great tenacity to stick with it. Had a couple defenders on her and just fought right through, got the one-on-one, and able to finish strong. 6-0 Bruins. And I know we mentioned it before, but even though the opponent is not as strong as some of the other ones we played, it's still encouraging to just see how well they're working as a team, even with the frequent lineup changes, as we saw even 2 more subs come in. And now going to it here is that's Sidwell working with it. Don't see her play a whole lot, but here's Stolvert. Back across the middle. Top that's Cole with it. Good tap over to Hoskinson.
Well, they've sure kept the ball on the floor today. They've put the ball in the air when they had to make long changing field passes, but on these windy days, any day really, but particularly on a windy day, keep that ball on the floor. It's easier to handle, and it certainly is not nearly as impacted by wind.
Wilson did a fine job there of driving it inside, and then a nice pass to Luttrell. Sends it up here, Sidwell. Sidwell has a good chance to cross it inside. There's the cross, but it's going to be knocked down and picked up by Megan Fraser.
Good penetration. Just needs to pull the ball out just a little more, but keep doing that, and it will result in a goal.
Sidwell will get another chance here.
Good. I like the way she took her on and beat her.
That's sent into the middle. Fraser comes out almost a little bit too late. Does. Lost the ball, put in. That was, Fraser just about had that one, but it bounces right back out. And then putting it away.
Yeah, Tessa Estrella scored the goal. It's sort of, if she missed that one, yeah, she just couldn't miss it. She was inside the 6 and the ball was at her feet and the goalkeeper on the ground.
Very similar to last game. You see Tessie Estrella come in and almost right away pick up a goal near the goal mouth.
Maybe the coach should bring her in more often, huh?
And it's now 7-0 Bruins, just over 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Both the starters and the reserves for the Bruins just really firing on all cylinders today.
Chris Carmichael, the head coach of the Lady Bruins, just has to be very proud of what he's seeing today, and very pleased as well. There's a lot of good things are happening. Sometimes you work in practice and you wonder, am I getting through? And then when you see a game like this where the play is really what the coach is looking for. At this level, it just is looking mighty good.
Good passing all the way around, just good use of space, good runs.
See, that one-touch passing there is just very nice.
Could still probably do with a few more diagonal runs, and as you said, a little bit more penetrating, but...
And coming to the ball. Don't let the ball roll to you. Move to the ball.
By the way, since Iwanowicz is out, it's Jamie Wilson at sweeper. She's done very well so far in her time backing up Sarah.
I know Jamie's a runner. She does lots of 5 and 10K races and runs almost every day. Her conditioning in the sweeper needs to have lots of conditioning. She's very well conditioned.
Definitely helps. I would not be surprised if by the end of this year or next year she's starting on defense. Doesn't usually start, but could definitely see that happening. Here we go. Here's Luttrell working with it all the way through the middle. Megan thinks about whether to come out and able to knock that one against her and then picks it up. If that one had gone just a little bit higher, that would have gone over her outstretched arms, but just barely got enough of it. Been a rough day for Fraser, as she's had a couple just pop right back out on her that have turned into goals, but overall she's been in a lot of very, very tough situations. A lot of some 2-on-nones and 1-on-1s, and just very, very difficult for any goalie.
There have been a lot of pretty goals.
Oh, nice turn and go there. Bonnie Cole with it, and then now dropping it back.
Diagonal runs, girls.
They haven't really had to take many strikes from deep. And there's another good job by Megan coming out on that one quickly before Tessie could put in another one.
Now, Megan Fraser is really getting plenty of work out today, but she sure sacrificed her body on that one to stop the goal.
Working hard against it right now.
That's a good ball.
Crossing it into the middle, and it's going to go out of bounds.
You can penetrate in one of two ways. Either a winger can take a defender on and beat the defender, or knock the ball to space and let the winger run on it, as they did there.
And getting ready for the goal kick. Just over 3 minutes to go here till halftime. Your BJU Bruins winning very handily right now, up 7-0 over the Florida Christian College Suns.
Coach Carmichael over there coaching away, telling his players what to do. And that's a good opportunity. Again, we have a lot of reserves in, and they need a little help as well. Ball went out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Christian College throw-in.
Now, for the benefit of those that don't know, how far did? Oh, sorry. Rephrase the question. What part of the line can the ball be touching and still be in?
The ball has to be completely over any boundary line before it is out of bounds. And that means that it might not even be touching the line, because a sphere is what it is, and maybe the bottom of the ball is even outside the playing field, but the inside is still breaking that plane. So it's you can give teammates and players and fans a heart attack sometimes when referees let the ball stay in bounds when it's not completely over.
Good defense there. Just fighting for it a little bit. Too much pushing of the hands there. We call that one on Sidwell. Suns still looking for their first goal. And it's going to be Abercrombie once again taking the kick. She had a pretty decent shot earlier, but went too high. See if she tries to send it directly at the goal once again. Yes, she does. And it's going to be caught by Anderson.
Yeah, I think that last foul was on Luttrell, number 9. She does tend to put hands on people a lot, but she hadn't had much of an opportunity to do it today. But she sure did then, I thought.
That's a good pass to Sidwell. My apologies on that. I definitely never intentionally mess up somebody's name, but it definitely does happen. Sidwell was trying to cut that one into the inside, but nobody there, and Abercrombie will turn it back to the outside, keeping away from that so dangerous middle portion of the field. Now Stolvert sending it over, and just barely able to keep it in as Sidwell cuts it back, gives it over to Luttrell. Luttrell swings it across inside, and that'll be scooped up.
Nice try. Bonnie Cole there tried to flick the ball on and did, but to no avail. The goalkeeper, Megan Frazier, was able to handle it without any trouble, but nice footwork by Cole.
25 seconds left here in the first half. Bruins trying to get one more before the halftime whistle. And Stolvert will have that one go out of bounds, and it will stay BJU ball. Less than 10 seconds to go now. Good throw into Luttrell. He's got a chance here. Has flanked by 3 different people, though. Working against Abercrombie, goes down, and that will be halftime.
Well, that's the first half here in Greenville, South Carolina. The score 7-0. The BJU Bruins on top of the Florida Christian College Suns. We'll take a break of about 15 minutes, which is, of course, the allotted time for halftime, and then we'll be back for the second half of this game. Thank you for joining us. Don't go away. The webcast will continue in 15.
He wanted it so bad, and I couldn't explain it to him. He was too young. But he would, every time he could get my attention, he left. Because he would point out to it, he was like, why won't you let me have that? Yes. Write them all down now because I don't know. Well, there was a piece of paper about but we haven't come up with it yet. Right. So we can remember.
That's how we got there.
And at our school, every
Sunday too. Left them there too.
that's not
And got it there. And got it. My class got a today. Had a 9 o'clock.
And then as you go downtown,
Well, welcome back. If you are a Bruins fan, you are loving this score. Paul right here. My colleague is Nate Warwick, and we're here on a windy Monday afternoon for a live webcast from Bob Jones University in Greenville, South Carolina. Nate, it's been a scoring frenzy for the Bruins, and I think we've seen a lot of good soccer today from the Bruins' standpoint, of course.
Yeah, they're up 7-0, and just from even the first couple minutes, you've seen that they have completely dominated possession. The ball control has been excellent. They've seen good passing and just good finishing as well. There haven't really been hardly any of them have been cheap goals. It's been good working the ball in, good touches, and just solid finishing. Not letting it get in your head and rushing it, but just good solid finishes. We've seen 5 different players score today, and it's including some reserves, and it's just been a great game for the Bruins so far.
Well, it's been good, and Coach Carmichael has been getting the substitutions in, as you mentioned, and it's been very good for a confidence builder, not only for the first team, but for the reserves as well. You can try things in games like this that you ordinarily can't try, and I think the gals are doing that. They're doing a little bit of experimenting out there.
Yeah, we've seen some just good, some more diagonal runs, some more penetrating, and especially there toward the end we see Ann Sidwell make some good penetrations, and just like we saw Sarah Porch take one out of the air for her goal, and just really being smart with it. Obviously, there's always areas you can improve in, but it seems like they have a lot of confidence this game, and even though they are playing a winless opponent, but it seems like this is going to be a really good game to build into their future games. Put a couple wins back to back, as of course they're coming off of a shutout victory and hoping to make this one a shutout victory as well. And they've, as we said, gotten scoring from all over the place. As Spencer Martin has a pair of goals, Lauren Peak has a pair of goals, Victoria Musselman, Tessie Estrella, and Rebecca Luttrell have all added scores as well. So Bruins looking to build even on that here as we're about to start the second half.
Well, if anything could be a little more ominous for the Florida Christian College gals, it is the wind. Now they're going to have the Lady Bruins coming at them with a pretty stiff wind at the Bruins' back. The flag is just absolutely flying straight out, parallel to the ground, so that does mean a lot. But I don't think it's meant a lot to the Bruins in the first half when they were facing the wind, because they really did keep the ball on the floor. That means keep it on the ground.
Yeah, and even a lot of their shots ended up being on the ground. They did have some very nice ones, especially that first one from Spencer Martin that just curved right into the upper 90, but most of them have been, below the waist, or in a lot of them even below the knee level. And now here we go, Florida Christian College in the orange going from left to right, and your BJU Lady Bruins in the white going from right to left. Quickly take it away, and they are back in control once again. Thank you again so much for joining us here today for the webcast. It's been a very, very good afternoon to be a Bruins fan, but thank you for sticking with us. There's been a lot of games that haven't been quite so pretty, but Bruins just continue to improve, and I know I've definitely seen a lot of change from that first game we saw.
Looks like they're either playing with two defenders all the way at the back, or Jill Isles is sweeping. We started off with 3 gals across the back, but right now Awanowitz and Jill Isles are at the back, and I wonder. Yeah, it looks like Awanowitz is now sweeping for us.
She has done a very good job today. Wilson did a good job coming in for her as well, but Iwanowicz is one of the team captains, and definitely one you're going to see a lot from on a game-to-game basis.
Danny Lee at the right back, so I like the way she makes those runs from a deep position, coming all the way forward and gets in the attack, as she should.
Yeah, she was one of the primary scorers for the intramural soccer for her society team, the Cardinals. Had all 3 goals in the team championship last year, so kind of the hero of the team, so to speak. So not surprising when when she does come up to attack, it's definitely catching none of the BJU faithful by surprise. Good ball control still for the Bruins. They're keeping it mostly on their half so far, but just taking their time, finding the open girl. And
well, I'm wondering if that's not a coaching tactic because they're up 7-0. Maybe the coach said, listen, I want you to knock the ball around X number of passes before you go forward with it. And that's a good tactic. It certainly helps you develop those passing lanes and passing skills, and keeps you from humiliating an opponent as well.
here we go. Martin making a nice run. She already has 2 goals today. Has a chance to maybe make it 3, but good defense there. Taken away and cleared down. Lehman chasing it. Actually be intercepted by Isles. Sending it forward. Good step in front there by Abercrombie. She has been very, very busy at sweeper. Actually was not a half bad pass right there, but Isles able to get in the way of it.
Well, Florida Christian had their back to the ball. They had no idea where it was coming. They're running their lanes too, straight up the pitch. Here's a good opportunity to, yeah, that's a nice ball. That's a nice ball.
And you saw Reemsma even point ahead and say, give it to me right there, and she makes it 8-0. Beautiful communication. Lauren Peak looking, and Reemsma just pointed out, said, hey, I've got space, send it to me, and just put it beautifully there. Reemsma outran the defense, and just like that, 8-0.
Wow, that was a pretty goal. After knocking the ball around for quite a bit in our half of the field, they attacked, and the Bruins attacked and knocked the ball in, and just a classic goal.
They've gotten so many of those mismatches where they have numbers on goal, and they've converted almost every single one of them. Rodriguez trying to switch fields, but it's going to be tracked down by Reemsma, who just became the 6th different Bruin to score on the day. Plenty of time. You see nobody really challenging her at all right now. A little move there by Attar, but mostly they're just having lots of space to work with.
I suspect that Coach Carmichael is saying, look, you knock the ball around in her back. See, when we're passing the ball negatively like that, and that's not what we usually do. We usually try to get it forward in a hurry. All right, now we're up.
Lehman to Howard.
Need a diagonal run there, friends.
Pico is trying to. Abercrombie a little slow to get up, but does get it. Double team, nice takeaway by Peak.
Peak was running still straight up her lane. If it would have been a diagonal, she would have won the ball.
Oh, a little step over there by Martin. Howard able to save it.
Out of bounds.
Nope, not quite. That was a fine step over move there by Martin.
Right fancy, wasn't it?
Comes Abercrombie with the throw in. Rodriguez trying to keep this one in bounds. That one will not stay in bounds either. Lehman to Howard. Good pass to Peak. Oh, able to fight through it. Pressuring hard from behind. That's Walter. And it will roll out of bounds. Throw in for the Bruins. Peak throws it back, and Howard's got some space. Rodriguez coming on her, though. Nice send into the middle. Reemsma looking for another goal. Has a chance. Shot. And it is in! 9-0 Bruins. Reemsma back-to-back goals for the Bruins here this half.
I like her stuff. I think we've said it in an earlier game. She moves very, very well and very aggressively to the ball. And over again, of all of the front runners we have, Reemsma, who oftentimes doesn't start, but when she comes in, things happen. She looks for a slice, just a small, narrow band, and she knocked that ball around a defender.
And she's not even technically one of the forwards, midfielder. Porch and Howard playing the forward roles right now, but it's Jocelyn Reemsma from the midfield, who just about 5 minutes into the second half has already notched a pair of goals, put the Bruins up 9-0.
The midfielders need to be involved in the attack, and that's certainly what Reemsma was.
Here's Porch. Oh boy, she's got lots of room. Pressured from behind from Fox.
She'll pull it back. Yep.
Johnson sends it into the middle. There's a shot. Good block from Abercrombie. Way to get in front of that.
Good defending. You're right.
Another cross in the middle, and once again, this time it's Fox getting in the way. Sacrificing the bodies a little bit to get in the way of those shots. Another send in. Another cross to the middle. This one will get through, but Megan able to grab it up there. Awesome. Some of the best defense we've seen from the Suns today, I think. Really did a good job of getting in the way and not really letting the Bruins have any clear shots.
Yeah, the ball cleared, and Sarah Porch, after the shot was actually taken, or the pass or service was, and I'll be quiet here, attack on goal.
Peak, good pass to Johnson. Megan dropped it, but quickly gets it back up again. Johnson, one of the starters today, and as is Reemsma for that matter.
Yeah, Sarah Porch got leveled over there after the ball was cleared on the last sequence.
Peak takes a shot from far out and makes it a hat trick. She was a good, what would you say, like 10 yards outside the goal box? And
yeah, she was 28, 30 yards out.
She just took it off one bounce. I don't think Fraser was really expecting him to take. They haven't shot anywhere near that far out today. And Peak gets goal number 3, and that puts the Bruins into double digits.
10-0. Well, I suspect that the starting lineup is going to get a lot of rest here in the second half. Nice thing about a second half play is that each player does get one re-entry.
Porch drops it back to Peak. I don't know, she's wearing the green headband instead of pink. Seems to be working for her. Maybe she should stick with that one for the rest of the year. Johnson drops it back to Reemsma. Sending it out to the far side to Porch. Another drop back to Reemsma. Ooh, that was a nice give and go. If Porch can save it, nope, can't. Be a goal kick.
Yeah, Megan Fraser, the goalkeeper for Florida Christian, needs to have a little more awareness of where players are and what's going on. That was a fairly routine shot that wasn't a real scorcher that Peak made, but she just didn't seem to be paying too much attention of where the ball was, and Peak slipped one by her.
Yeah, just, like I said, really don't think she was expecting one that far out, but as we've seen, oh, here comes Reemsma again. From the outside, sends it across. Nice pass and goal. Deanna Howard puts in her first goal of the game. I don't know if that was intended to be a pass, but it sure worked out as a nice one as it went right across the goal mouth. Howard charged in from the outside and slips it into the inside post.
Well, everything about that was nice. Howard even scored with her left foot. Just got up, volleyed the ball with her left foot, and knocked it in first time. First one-touch pass. Just nice goal.
And here come the subs. 6 players coming in, it looks like. Bruins with 4 goals in less than 8 minutes here in this second half.
Yeah, there are a host of substitutions coming in.
Looks like Stolvert's in here in the front. Chant maybe in the midfield. A lot of people coming in. Misplayed by Florida Christian and not able to save it. Will be a throw in for, nope, Martin's going to yield it back to Lehman, who is still in, one of the 4 starters that didn't come out. Here we go, going to the outside. Stolvert is not going to be able to track that one down. It'll be a throw in for Hoffman. Or I'm sorry, for Walter. Hands it over to Rodriguez, throws it in. Stolvert traps it on like 1-on-4. A little bit of a misplay there. Takes away, puts it right through Abercrombie's legs. Stolvert with a shot, high, deflected over and in. Stolvert just did that one all herself, took it away, put it between Abercrombie's legs and off the hands of Fraser and in.
Or as they say in soccer, that was a nutmeg. She megged her. The nutmeg is knocking the ball between an opponent's legs and then running around, and that was classic. Again, a little bit of a misplay by Megan in the goal, but she's not a real tall gal. That's an 8-foot high goal mouth, and she's just a little bit taller than halfway up by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't think she could have much more than 5 feet on her, and I think I couldn't tell if she was trying to catch it or punch it over, but either way, it didn't work. And Bruins now up 12-0. It's kind of a tough conundrum for for a team when they're kind of in this position, because you don't want to be unsportsmanlike, but at the same time, you don't want to intentionally play badly, or it's just.
Particularly when your reserves are in, you want to give them a chance to play and score. But there is 12-0 is a little high scoring, and we have 35 minutes remaining, so.
Yeah, they're definitely getting scores from the reserves. They've had 5 goals knocked in by 5 of the 12 have come in from reserves. Just about 10 minutes, well, not even quite 10 minutes into the second half. Bruins lead 12-0, 7 goals in the first half, and 5 goals here in less than 10 minutes. Really controlling the play, start to finish, and that last one was the only goal that was really just a one-woman show, as it was just all Stolvert there. Fox sending it down the outside for Florida Christian and just misplaying it.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of knocking the ball around and taking their time. And that's, I'm particularly pleased that we don't have a super high level of intensity now. When you're ahead this far, just kind of work on the fundamentals and the basics.
Martin, another nice move. She has some of the best footwork of anybody on the team. Lehman with it now. Back to Martin. Martin's got lots of space to work with, especially in the attacking zone. Can't believe they're giving her that much space. Good send across. Nice drop back to Reemsma. Reemsma back across to the outside. Going in. Sent back across. Trying to get it forward there to Stolvert.
Yeah, Stolvert was flat-footed and just simply got beat to the ball that time. But, oh!
Great hustle there. Unfortunately, it gets taken away, but Walter showed some great speed down that sideline, or down that side to the touchline, and did a great job getting to the ball, but it will end up as a corner kick for Johnston, who is the team's primary corner kick taker.
Yeah, Walter has a pretty good way of defending. She puts a shoulder on a player running down that flank and just doesn't take the shoulder off. It's almost the referee changed his mind or corrected somebody's mistake. We have a goal kick rather than a corner.
And Abercrombie, as usual, will be the one to send it away. As sweeper for the Sun, she has been very, very busy, and another 5 or so subs coming in. It looks like, I think the entire starting lineup is out now. I think. Bonnie Cole playing defense now. She was on the offensive side of the ball last half.
Yeah, Bonnie Cole came in. It was Lacey Harris came back. Number 5 is now in. Sidwell. One more that didn't catch the number. I'm sure we'll be able to point her out. Jamie Wilson is in.
Estrella looks like she's in on the front as well. A bit of a lucky bounce there. Going into the inside, this is a chance for Shireling. Lost it though. Coming back the other way. That's Euban sending it forward. High in the air. Headed a little bit too far backwards. Good try there though.
Yeah, they've got Jamie Wilson, number 22, at the front. Usually she does play midfield or at the back, but they're trying her out. And that's a good idea. Let players run up front, see what happens. You may have a goalkeeper infant that's ready to blossom into a mature adult. Let them see what happens. That's a nice ball.
Here's a chance. They're working on the outside. And Nyarkis is also up front, another player that often plays defense.
She'll take it to the goal line. She is not afraid to attack with the ball.
In some ways, it does make a lot of sense to try Wilson out once and forward, as she's got very accurate leg and pretty decent power. Sending it looking for Sidwell there. Sidwell going, good move. Not quite able to save it though. Good attempt, working against Walter. Walter's going to seed throw in to Glunt. And we've got some subs coming in for Florida Christian. Haven't seen that much today.
Yeah, Granger coming in. Elisa Granger, a senior, coming in to replace number 20. And that is Alicia Hoffman is leaving.
So Alyssa in and Alicia out.
Yes.
Pretty similar. Here we go. Here's Euban. Sending it forward to Stolvert. Stolvert and Wilson almost getting a little bit tangled up. Ooh, that was a slide tackle hard in from Abercrombie. And that looked like it was in the box to me.
I think he's given a throw in. Yep, no foul.
So here we go. Sidwell gives it back to Cole. Good, lots of space there in the middle. Hoskinson had tons of daylight. Good pressure from behind.
Now that's good pressure.
That was a good job by Bromere there. She has been one throughout the day that has been willing to go to it and challenge. She's had a lot of good, solid physical challenges throughout the day. Still fighting with it here on the outside. Sending it forward. Rodriguez with it. Good defense there.
And it resulted in an attack. They pushed the ball forward further than what perhaps they've had it in the whole second half.
I think that's probably fair to say.
Just because of good aggressive play. Go after the ball hard. Don't give up.
Fox knocks it away from Niarchus. It'll be a throw in for the Bruins. Target was Niarchus there again, and this time she will take the throw in.
Pressure can often force the attacker to make a mistake, and if you win the ball or take it from her, or you cause a mistake, as long as you're in possession of the ball, it's been a successful attack or defense, if you will.
Hoskinson throwing it in, looking to cross this one into the box proper, and that will be a goal kick. Had Stolvert running up there toward the front, but wasn't quite able to get it to her. Just inside 29 minutes to go here in the game. Bruins putting on a clinic, up 12-0 against the Florida Christian College Suns.
Abby Mitchell coming in, number 15. She's playing in the midfield.
Here we go. Here's the goal kick. I kind of went through about 3 different people. Finally gets it on midfield. That's actually a pretty nice ball up toward the outside. Bruins defense all over it, though. Once again, we're just seeing some good patience, good ball control. Niarchus with a little bit of a bad trap there, but able to get it back under control. Cole's got Stolvert. That's who she's going to go to. Stepping in front of it, though, was Walter. We've seen Bromere just get all over the field today. She's been very, very active. She's on the near side right here now for Suns. So throw in. Nice control there by Sidwell. Good job. Stolvert not able to control it, though, quite as well as could have. Good pressure, and now Wilson charging for it. Does save it. Good job. Good chance to cross it in. Pressured hard from behind by Abercrombie. Wilson does send it in, and it will be booted out. Still going to stay in bounds, though, I think. And what's the flag for? Was it an offside that far back?
I believe that's what the referee is calling, and the assistant referee didn't move position. So I was looking for the assistant referee, and he's way upfield. It is an indirect free kick, so it will be an offside.
Okay, apparently Wilson was too far forward on that one.
And she looked pretty good, but I am certainly not on that plane.
Nice takeaway there by Bromere. Just took it right away from Bonnie Cole. Bromere dropping back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez going around to the outside. Florida Christian on one of their relatively rare attacks. Tries to drop it back. Good job going to the ball, but then it's just booted right out of bounds. Really no chance for any of the Suns players to get to that one. Another out of bounds, another throw in for the Bruins. Well, it has been quite a game here so far, huh, Paul?
It has been indeed. I was looking at number 1 for the Florida Christian College player.
That's Lindsey Glunt.
Yep, she has quite a wrap-up on her right leg there, and it looks like there is a brace, a pretty heavy-duty brace. Looks like metal is bulging out. It's covered up with a black covering, but I hope she isn't playing with an injury, or hope she's recovered from it. Clearly, she's had some trouble with that leg. That could certainly impact how a player's confidence, if nothing else.
Wilson was trying to keep that one from going out of bounds and sent it for Stolvert, but went out of bounds anyway. Now Bruins controlling it in their own half of the field. Good job there, being patient with it. Sidwell accidentally kicked it off the back of Musselman there. She's got a goal already today. Still working it forward. Oh, Stolvert offside.
Yep. No question about that one.
Even so, she was pretty well guarded by Walter. It wasn't a bad idea.
One of the rule changes this year in the NCAA soccer, men's and women's soccer rules, is referees are allowed to use electronic devices. There are wireless radios that that referees and assistant referees can now use. The professional ranks have been using that. The international game has used that a lot. Sometimes it's very difficult when a referee is running down the pitch with his back to his assistant to see the flag going up. So he can tell the referee that, hey, my flag's up.
And Nyarkis now working with it. Got a good pass from Euban. Looks like that will be taken away and knocked out by Fox. Kind of almost funny play earlier as Glunt was challenging Mitchell for the ball and tried to go shoulder to shoulder and ended up on the ground, even though she was the one attacking. And 3 more subs coming on.
30, 24, and 21 now in.
So that's DeChant, Estrella, and Adi Blage in for the Bruins.
I understand the rationale for making substitutes wear a penny or a vest so you can know who they are and who the players of record are, but it's a little bit slow sorting out who the subs are when they're coming in.
That's going to be a roll out of bounds, and it will be a corner. Let's see who ends up taking it. Tessie Estrella has it now, but I think she's going to cede that. Yep.
Blage lining up to take the kick, number 21.
She'll be the 3rd different Bruin take a corner today. Johnson's taken some, and Euban has taken the others. Blage hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time this year, so good to see her in. That's a low drive that's completely behind the goal, so that'll be a goal kick.
You know, we have surprisingly few corner kicks in a match like this because balls that have been going across the goal line have been going also between and below the uprights and the crossbar. They have been scoring at 12-0, 23 minutes and 4 seconds, 2 seconds remaining in the match.
It has been very impressive offensive display thus far for the Bruins. Estrella, that just came in, had the last goal of the first half. See if we'll see some more fireworks from her here later. Good takeaway. Sends it forward to Musselman. She had a goal in the first half as well. Taken away by Abercrombie. Working down the field with it. Ooh, nice little fake out there. Going against Sidwell. Cole getting some hard pressure from behind from Bromere. Sent into the middle, taken away. Mitchell turning and going with it. Looking to send it up the middle. Had Euban charging, but Euban turned and looked back just as Mitchell was sending it. No chance for her to beat that one out. Not a very far goal kick, and trying to save it was Walter. Couldn't quite do it.
I think you were telling me that Florida Christian has been outscored by their opponents by a rather significant margin. Do you remember what that number was?
Coming into this game, 85-2. So right now, 97-2. It's been a rough year for their program.
You know, and they really do have some young women that I think can play. They're
Bromere and Abercrombie especially have been fairly impressive to me.
You can kind of, after you've been around athletics for a while, you can sort of look at players and watch them walk and see how they handle themselves. And there is some athleticism on this team, but I'm not sure what the problem is. They just don't seem to understand tactics. would be interesting to see if Carmichael had this group of ladies, where they would be. I've been very impressed with what Coach Chris Carmichael has done with these gals. He really has. They were not very good at the beginning, quite bluntly, but boy, have they improved. But they were a group of gals that hadn't played together before, and they really have come together. And tactically wise, they are really thinking now.
Yeah, they're just looking so much sharper. And you saw even on that last play that went out, you saw what Sidwell was trying to do with the chant running down the outside. Tessie Estrella's not going to be able to catch up to that one. It'll be a throw-in for Fox on the outside. But you can tell that they have a lot of the right ideas. And I saw early on in the season that they had a lot of right ideas, but a lot of poor execution. And it seems like they're getting even better ideas and better execution. It's really made a big difference.
Well, I think at the beginning of the season they may have had a good idea. They just didn't know it. So they're thinking. They have some real soccer logic that they're starting to apply, and they're much more patient. And they just aren't jumping in anymore. That probably was I imagine Coach Carmichael just preached that gospel a lot. Don't jump in.
Glunt showing some good ball protection there, Florida Christian, and now taken away by Mitchell in the midfield. Sends it to Cole. Cole challenged hard, and nice takeaway there by Walter. Mitchell taking it back, though, has Cole on the inside. That's who she'll go to. Getting some pressure from Bromere. She drops it back to Musselman. A little bit of a tangle there as Sidwell goes down hard. Got tangled up with Glunt. A little slow to get back up. Still on the ground. Cole coming over to check her out.
Sometimes when you get tangled up like that, you go down hard in a heap. Can take your breath away, literally.
Here we go. Looks like it will be Eubin to take the kick.
And a
Sends
nice
it
service.
right down the middle.
Nice service.
Estrella wasn't quite able to get to it, but Fraser will grab it and send it back the other way. Just over the head of Musselman. She was trying to get ahead on that one.
On these free kicks or set pieces, whatever they may be, our players need to be ready. Any player needs to be ready to run and even already moving as the kick is being taken. If we wait to move after the ball is kicked, the defenders have an equal chance of getting to the ball. I mean, you should know where the ball or about where the ball is going. So we were sort of flat-footed on that kick, and no wonder we looked like no one was forward. Great opportunity, but we just didn't get on our ponies quick enough.
Just over 18 minutes to go here in the game. Bruins lead the Suns 12-0. BJU Bruins have had a fantastic day. Of course, this is the ladies. It's just been a very, well, if you're a Bruins fan, it has been a very fun game to watch.
It's some real pretty goals. Now that's
a bad pass taken away. Bromere once again almost had a chance for a good shot on that, but wasn't able to get to it. Walter sends it to Glunt. This is a chance here. Glunt's triple team, but does get it over. Now taken away and going back the other way.
And that one bad pass was made even worse when Bonnie Cole did not move to the ball. She was running, she was like she was glued to the touchline here rather than moving to the ball. It's okay to run at the ball when it's coming toward you, especially when you have a defender running on it as well.
Mitchell sends it to DeChant. Back to Mitchell, going to Estrella. Estrella trying to get past her defender, can't quite do it. That is good defense there from Fox. Credit Leslie Fox there, the junior defense. It was a good play, had a 2-on-1 and was able to fend off the attackers, send it to the outside. And a whole host of subs coming in again. Looks like, what, 6 different players, I think? 7? 6 or
7.
7 players coming in for the Bruins.
Come on, girls, take those pennies off so we can see your numbers here. 7, 13, 19, 8, 10, 17, and 11. Boy, I'm out of breath.
So in other words, pretty much all the starters, except for Peak was not a starter, but she might as well have been with how active she has been. She's actually way back on defense. Already has a pair of goals today, and looks like she's pretty much the sweeper spot.
Well, I expect she can sweep. She can sure enough score.
Here's Mitchell with it off the throw-in from DeChant. Good send across to the middle. This is a good chance for Lehman. Lehman on the offensive side of the ball, looking to, okay, she dribbles it in, knocked away by Fox. It was a good chance for Lehman if she could have pulled the trigger a little sooner there. Now sending it back over to Martin. Martin with a pair of goals today.
Yeah, Sarah Iwanowitz is at the front.
Well, with how much power she has, I mean, she could probably put some pretty nice ones in. Charging for it and can't save it.
If Iwanowitz gets a hold of the ball, she's liable to take Miss Frazier right in the net with the ball. She can really hammer.
Now, I can't see the number, but I think we might have, is Shelly Hawk in goal, or is it still Tori?
That's a different lady. I believe that is Shelly Hawk.
So not surprising to see her be in this half, but definitely want to acknowledge that she's getting a little bit of playing time as well. And you know, when you have as you said, when you have a 12-0 lead, you can do a little bit more. Iwanowicz charging for that one, but not able to get to it. Martin now with it. Taking her time and actually drops this one back into the defensive zone, even though we had 5 players up. Just no need to hurry along. Still about 15 minutes left in this game, and Bruins in no danger of losing this one. Peak working with it in the back. Unfamiliar position for her, but she's doing a good job. Lee also a little bit forward. DeChant, I don't know if that was supposed to be a pass, but does save it. Walter sending it over to Bromere. Taken away by Lee, and takes it away from Abercrombie.
Uh-oh.
Here's a good chance for Danny Lee. Cuts to the inside, gets around the middle. Shot, and that'll roll right into Megan Fraser's arms. That was a good chance for Lee, though.
Yeah, she was wide open. Maybe even could have taken a step or two forward, even closer to the goal mouth, and make Frazier's job even tougher. Frazier did a very nice job handling that.
Rodriguez sent it up to that far side. The Suns are rewarded with a throw-in. Cutting it back to the middle, and Mitchell will take it away. Drop it back to, I think that's no, that's Porch. Porch is also in a defensive position in this half. Iwanowicz chasing it, got a piece, but not quite enough. That's a very weak pass. Lee could take that one away. Can't quite do it. Charging up for this one. Sent down to the near side. It is Bromere. Going back over to Glunt. And Glunt will have this one go out of bounds. We got 2 more subs coming on. Looks like DeChant is going to come off, and Abby Mitchell is going to come off.
And we've got Isles coming in, and looks like, well, yeah, DeChant is leaving. And number 20 is Jill Isles coming back on.
And Hoskinson, the other
There you go.
one coming in near the front. That's Tess Hoskinson. Isles sending it over to Martin in the middle. Swinging it across to Porch on the outside.
Iwanowitz running across the front, making good diagonal runs there. So she may play at the back, but she knows how to do a diagonal run, that's for sure.
Hoskinson trying to get it to Iwanowicz, but good defense and nice direction as well, as the Suns have some room now on the outside. Sent up front, charging for it, and it will go out of bounds.
Coming up on 12 minutes remaining in the match, and again, it's a 12-0 game. The BJU Lady Bruins on top.
Scored 7 in the first half, and then all 5 of their second half goals came within the first 10 minutes. So in spite of the high score, we actually have not had a goal in almost 25 minutes.
And I think a lot of that was the starters were in the beginning of the half, and they were really knocking the ball around and trying not to score a great deal, or so it appeared.
Here's Iwanowicz. Shot will go wide.
And is it a corner? I thought
Yes.
it was.
Yep, it was deflected. Looked like by Abercrombie.
I'd like to see Iwanowitz inside the 18. She's such a tall, rangy gal. She would be very good in the air and has shown herself to be, but she's taking the corner.
Yeah, she does have one of the most powerful legs, though, so it doesn't make sense to give her the service. There it is. That's outside, though. I wonder if maybe the wind is messing with them a little bit, because that's the second straight corner that has gone behind the goal, and that is the direction the wind's blowing.
Well, if it's making that much an impact, then aim at the midfield.
Here we go. There's the kick. Now some pressure on the outside from Hoskinson. Good takeaway. Bad pass, though, trying to cut it inside to Iwanowicz. Danny Lee has it now. They don't really have numbers, and it's good defense right now by the Suns. Just over 10 minutes to play. And Paul, what do the Bruins most need to work on for their next game? I mean, obviously this has been an impressive offensive attack they've shown today, but what do they need to work on for their next game coming up?
Well, if I were Coach Carmichael, I would say maintain your focus. You did a nice job this game. Don't lose it next game. Just because, and expect to be pressured. I mean, you sort of had your way this time, but with this game and this team, but make sure that, oh, lovely ball.
Isles to Lee. Lee on a one-on-one. Shot, goal. Danny Lee makes it 13-0 Bruins. That was a fine pass, and Danny Lee in perfect position got another one-on-one with the goalie, and that's what so many of the Bruins goals today have been.
Look pretty. It sure did. Well, I think the gals, if they can maintain this kind of focus when they are being pressured by a team that perhaps has a little more skill and a little more experience and a little more desire, then they're gonna win their share of games in this inaugural season.
Looking to put away win number 4 here today, and although they did start off the season 0-4, this will move them to 4-3 in their last 7.
There was a case where we didn't have our head up. We made the pass thinking a player was going to be there, but the player was still upfield a little bit. So get your head up, look around, see where your teammates are before you pass. It's great to pass to space, but make sure that your player has a better chance of getting to the ball. Another attack coming.
Here we go. And it's going to be knocked away. Well done there by Walter. But it will be another corner, and we'll see if it will be Iwanowicz again, as this will be on the near side. Though it looks like Isles running over to take it.
Always better to knock the ball out over the touch line rather than giving a corner kick when you're defending. And she had plenty of time to do that, but I think just misplayed it a bit.
Isles sends it in. No Bruins immediately there, and it's tried to clear it out, but it goes right to Spencer Martin. Martin taking it into the middle. A lot of orange jerseys around. Passed over to Iwanowicz. Good defense there by Fox. Able to keep Iwanowicz from getting a good shot on goal there. Martin with a takeaway. Already 2 goals. Just runs right through on the outside. Here's the cross in. And nice job by Hoskinson getting a foot on it, but not a lot of power, and Fraser able to grab it.
Yeah, that was impressive that Hoskinson got her leg on the ball already, because she had to stretch out pretty good. I was impressed that she was able to make contact with the ball at all. Well done.
We've talked about just how good this Bruins team has been today, and they've had, Glunt got completely run over by Lee right there. But they have had, they've scored 13 goals, but that's, between 10 different players have contributed as far as the goals go today. I haven't been able to keep track of assists, but as far as goals go, 10 different Bruins put one in. Here's Danny Lee sending it across, and that'll be rolled out of bounds by Walter. Isles sends it inside to Lee. Lee up to Iwanowicz. Drop back to Martin. Martin over and around to Lehman.
This is nice work. Except right there, the nice work ended.
Abercrombie pressuring and hits it off Lehman, but good job by Hoskinson, able to keep it in. Back over to Lehman. Good run here. Chance to cross it in or maybe take a shot. Looks like she's going to look to take a shot herself. There's the shot, and just barely missed on the outside.
Just a nice sequence. I mean, in the sporting terms, I think Florida Christian may be packing it in already, and at 13-0, who can blame them? But they are relaxing and even staying further off the ball now than they were at the beginning of the match. But it still is we're still using good, sound tactics as we're knocking the ball around and looking for the runners.
Fox with the goal kick. Martin able to control it.
Very nice.
Good switch to Isles. She's got Lee in a good position. Lee's going to turn and go against Abercrombie. Or I'm sorry, against Glunt. Now passing it over to Atal. Taken away. Now it's just going out to the outside. Hoskinson going to try to take that one away. Inside 6 minutes to go here in the game. Bruins lead 13-0. 7 goals in the first half, 6 here in this half. And it has just been ooh, that was definitely a knockover there that was Lehman on the outside. Rodriguez, the son that went down. Looks like she's okay, though. Here we go. Fox with the kick. And 2 different Suns players are right next to it. It's a good send there. Looking to mount an attack. They've only had a couple shots all day. And Bruins have defended very, very well. Of course, they've been on the attack so much they haven't had to defend very much. Looks like they're about to start another attack right here, sending it across the middle. Martin will pick it up. Lots of space on the near side. She's going to drop it back for Johnston. Johnston pressured hard from behind. That's a good send to Lee. She's onside. She's got a breakaway. Pressured hard from behind by Atal. Lee.
Very
and the
nice.
shot is knocked down. Good defense. Shot by Iwanowicz is way too high. And that was some fine defending there by Megan Fraser.
I'm glad to see her come out and make that save. Oh my, here we go again. Looks like we have a whole new team coming in. You can, by the way, by rule, you can substitute all 11 players if you choose at one time. I don't think there were 11, but there were, I think, 7 or 8 new players coming in.
Yeah, shy of Shelley, just about everybody did come out. Looks like we've now got Euban, Nyarkis, and Luttrell across the front. Jamie Wilson is now in a midfield position. So she's run the gamut today. She's played sweeper, midfield, and forward. Glunt working with it, trying to clear it out. Good send. You see Abercrombie up out of the sweeper position, up in the more midfield kind of spot. Charging up for that one on the outside. Suns able to keep it in, but nice takeaway. Sending it up across for Cole. Cole is back in. That outside as well. Looking for Nyarkis, trying to turn it inside and go. Going to drop it back a little bit too much power. Paul Hamus couldn't quite corral it in. Will be a throw in for the Bruins. Just shy of midfield. Oh, here we go. Another chance. Nyarkis with it. Going inside. Goes down. Looks to be okay. Ball still rolling around. Wilson challenging for it. And are able to clear it out to Abercrombie. On the attack now. Sent down the outside. Good speed, but all the speed's not going to help you when it's already out of bounds.
I was caught up in play there for a moment, watching how everyone was moving, and I was particularly interested in seeing how Nyarkis would do. She just kind of gets involved in every play and kind of gives it everything she has.
Cole got knocked down there, and it will be a direct free kick for the Bruins as a result. There's the send, and Cole just misplayed it. 2:19 to go here in regulation. Bruins with a 13-0 lead, looking to close out their second shutout in a row. Last time they won 5-0 here against Johnson, and now over doubling that score here today. Looking to move to 4-7 and drop the Suns to 0-11 on the season. So Paul, if you're the Suns coach, if you're Coach Johnson, what are you trying to tell your players after a this lopsided of a game?
Well, I might light a fire under them one way or another, because they just came out with just no enthusiasm, no confidence, and they're not just a bunch of non-athletes. I mean, every team is going to have one or two players better than somebody on the other team, but they're not. These girls should not be 97 or 98 and 2. They should have scored more goals than that. It's fundamental stuff. They're not going hard to the ball. They're not tactically defending well, like this winger of ours. We had an offside there, but you can't let players run up the touchline like that. So I would go back to the fundamentals. Like some great football players start off. Lombardi said when he would go in at the beginning of every season, he would hold up a football and say, "Gentlemen, this is a football. Get back to the basics." They are not playing tactically. They just look like they're out here running around.
Well, it's about to be over as we're inside 30 seconds now. Trying to get one more. That was onside, but it's also going to be tapped out of bounds. And Walter's done her best back there, but nice throw into Nyarkis. If she can control this one, this could be another goal. Couldn't quite get it in soon enough. Inside 10 seconds is probably not going to have enough time. Harris is sure going to try, though. Harris throwing it into Nyarkis. 3 seconds to go, and that is going to do it. Euban winds up for it, but with the block anyway was Fraser. That'll wrap it up. Your BJU Lady Bruins with an awesome showing here today, taking down the Florida Christian College Suns 13-0.
Well, we certainly thank you for joining us this afternoon for this match between the Bob Jones University Bruins and the Florida Christian College Suns. Now, we have a very, very busy soccer weekend coming up, and we hope you'll plan on joining us. On Friday, October 19th, the Bruin men are going to be taking on Clearwater Christian College. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on Saturday, both Bruin teams, the men's and the women's teams, are going to play Tennessee Temple University. The women's match begins at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, of course, with the men's kickoff expected to be around 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Won't you join us as often as you can for exciting Bruin soccer? Until then, this is Paul Wright with Nate Warwick thanking you for joining us.